Religion was very important to the Maya. The Maya believed gods controlled everything. Them. The region known as Mesoamerica stretches from the central part of Mexico south to include the northern part of Central America. It was in this region that a people called the Maya developed a remarkable civilization. Around 1000 BC, the Maya began settling in the thick tropical forests. The Mayans cleared the lands to farm and grew a variety of crops, including beans, squash, avocados, and maize, another name for corn. The forest provided valuable resources too. Forest animals such as deer, rabbits, and even monkeys sources of food. In addition, trees and other forests made good building materials. The used wooden poles and along with mud and rocks to build houses. The early Maya lived in small, isolated villages. Eventually, though, the villages started trading with one another. As trade increased, the villages grew. By about AD 200, the Maya had begun to build large cities in Mesoamerica. Let's watch an overview of the early civilization from National Geographic.
Maya. They're considered one of the most advanced civilizations that existed in the Americas before the Spanish conquest. But who exactly were the ancient Maya people, and what led to the collapse of their civilization? In 1800 BC, the Maya had begun settling and established villages in what is today Mexico and Central America. Maya civilization peaked from 250 to 900 AD, what archaeologists call the Classic period. More than 40 cities flourished throughout the region, with populations as large as 50,000. The Maya built magnificent urban centers consisting of structures, including pyramid temples that were central to Maya religious practices. In addition to these impressive city structures, agriculture played a key role in Maya civilization. Corn was one of the predominant crops. The Maya creation story tells of nature gods, the basis of Maya religion, who created humans out of wild corn. The Maya also made significant advancements in mathematics and astronomy. They invented the concept of zero, and they developed an accurate calendar system. Used to guide the Maya agricultural cycles, the calendar was based on observations of the sun and sky over thousands of years. The Maya also developed the only known system of writing in Mesoamerica, hieroglyphs. In fact, much of what we know about ancient Maya civilization comes from deciphering hieroglyphic characters inscribed in pottery, stone slabs, and other ruins discovered at ancient sites. Hieroglyphs have revealed that, despite the Maya's ingenuity and agrarian lifestyle, conflict was prevalent among some Maya city-states as they battled for control of the region. Throughout much of the Classic period, the city-state of Tikal, located in modern-day Guatemala, reigned as the closest thing to an empire in Maya history. But for a period of roughly 130 years, the Tikal people were overtaken through force and diplomacy by the Kanul, a rival kingdom. Toward the end of the Classic period, around 900 AD, most Maya cities had collapsed. Among the theories are warfare, a volcanic eruption, and, perhaps most likely, drought. However, archaeologists still debate why as new evidence continues to emerge. Despite the decline of ancient Maya civilization, the Maya people have by no means disappeared. More than 7 million Maya are estimated to be alive today in their indigenous homelands and around the world. While they participate in modern global life, they continue to follow cultural and ceremonial practices of their ancestors.
So, as National Geographic mentioned, the Classic Age began to die out probably due to warfare, drought, or possibly volcanic activity or an eruption, some kind of a natural disaster. It's really not clear. More research must be done. The Classic Age was at the height of the Mayan culture. Before its decline, Maya territory grew to include 40 large cities. Each had their own government and king. Each king ruled their own area and would not unite any of the other cities into one Mayan empire. So they all didn't want to work together. They had to rule their own empire. Instead, the Maya cities were linked through trade. So they had their own kings and they traded, but they weren't one large empire. People exchanged goods for products that were not available locally. Now, look at this trade route map. On this map, you can see goods that were available in different areas at the time. In some areas, there may have only been salt. And so they would trade with other areas that only had cotton. Let's watch a video from Seven Generation Game to understand how the Mayan economic trade system worked.
Mayan trading. Did you ever wonder how people lived thousands of years ago? For example, how did the Mayans live? Did they have dollar bills? No, the Mayans didn't use money. They traded for what they needed. If you had a quetzal feather, you could trade it for maize. Cacao beans, obsidian, gold, salt, and quetzal feathers could be traded for almost anything. Cacao beans, chocolate, and cocoa are made from these. They look like this. Obsidian is a black rock. It can be sharpened for spear or arrowheads. These things didn't all weigh the same, and they weren't all worth the same. If you had an ounce of quetzal feathers, you could get 50 pounds of maize. We call this corn. 1 ounce of feathers equals 50 pounds of maize. An ounce of cacao beans would get you 2 pounds of maize. An ounce of gold would get you 20 pounds of maize. An ounce of salt would get you 1 pound of maize. And an ounce of obsidian, 5 pounds. If you graphed it, it would look like this. I wonder why everyone didn't just go out and get quetzal feathers. Because they were hard to find. That's one reason why they were so valuable. Salt, on the other hand, if you lived by the ocean, was easy to get, so it was worth less.
Okay, so through this trading, the Maya got supplies for construction. Maya cities had grand, huge buildings at the time. At the top of them, they placed temples. These were decorated with carvings and paintings. In addition to palaces and temples, the Maya built canals that brought water to their areas and paved large plazas for public gatherings. Farmers used stone walls to shape hillsides into flat terraces so that they could grow crops on them. Almost every Maya city also had a stone court for playing a special kind of ball game called pak-tak-pak. Say that 10 times fast. Ready? Pak-tak-pak. They used their heads and shoulders or hips. Players tried to bounce a very heavy ball, sometimes up to 8 pounds, and could even break bones. It was that heavy, through stone rings that were attached on court walls. The winners of the games received jewels, clothing, precious gems. It was awesome to win. Unfortunately, the losers were almost always or oftentimes killed, actually by the ones who would beat them. So let's watch a video from the Smithsonian to understand the origins of this game. Whoops, not quiz time yet. Got to watch the game of pak-tak-pak. Whew, it's hard to say.
For the Maya, the sky was not the only otherworldly domain, and the gods of the sky were not the only ones that had to be appeased. Beneath the earth, there lay another vast realm, a supernatural underworld where the spirits of the dead roamed.
For the Mayas, the structure of the world. We are living in the living plane that it's the earth, and then there's the skies with different levels, and of course the underworld. The underworld was the place where the people that are not living anymore are there. So for them, when you die, it's not the end of everything.
In the Popol Vuh, an ancient Mayan narrative, the underworld is called Xibalba, the place of fear. It has 9 perilous levels, ruled by 12 lords, gods of death, who are responsible for disease and affliction. The Maya believe this place of death exists side by side with the land of the living. The underworld could be reached in the most unlikely of places. This huge open court in Chichen Itza looks almost like a marketplace, but no buying or selling went on here. It was the setting for an ancient Mayan ball game, a game far deadlier than any modern sport. Measuring 550 by 230 feet, the court is over twice the size of a modern American football field. Here, 2 teams faced off, with players aiming to hit the ball through hoops high on the walls. They play for the highest possible stakes, because the losing team faces being sacrificed to the gods. The winners kill the losers and cut off their heads. Wall reliefs show the victors holding a loser's severed head. At first glance, the high walls that surround the ball court don't seem to have much purpose.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there and flip it over to this last video. I wanted you to watch more about the game that the Mayan played. So So scoring was very difficult. Some games, neither team scored points. Stadiums were in the middle of cities, large gatherings, much like today. There were even musical performances throughout. Artwork shows the game as it was an important part of life. That was about 3,500 years ago. The losing team was sacrificed. This is a game of life and death. Truly, the winner would take all. All right, now we go back and it is quiz time. So I need you to flip back over to your agenda and click on lesson quiz, and good luck.